This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
Friday afternoon, Oilersnation Radio. Lots to talk about, I guess. Maybe. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It is Friday.
It is Friday. I'm aware it is written down. I will not play Tuesday games today.
Oh, that's too bad. I did well on the last one out.
You did. You won
I brought up the Santa Claus outfit thing over Christmas to my family. And I asked them all, I was like, what company do you think changed the color of Santa Claus? And all of them said Coca-Cola, not Ford.
Yep.
Why would Ford be the one to do it?
You're telling me. I have no idea.
Santa's sleigh, drive one.
Yeah.
Built up. Isn't that
Rudolph. Oh, Michael Menzies is in for Rick, everybody.
Well, Tyler's here, Dan's here, Mike Menzies sitting in for Rick. Rick's got adult things to do today. Although I imagine it's the 2nd of January. He's probably lifting something heavy.
Big New Year's resolution guy.
Big New Year's resolution gym guy.
No, he's the guy actually who hates January because he says
it's busy at the gym.
Yeah, it's busy at the gym, and he's a year-round gym guy.
Yeah.
Well, Rick Vegas has got to get ready for a stripping career.
He's got to get work on the glam muscles, as we all know. That's what Rick is doing today. So Mike Menzies sitting in for us. As we do every week, we start off with a delicious debate for our friends at Oodle Noodle. Of course, you can add on 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, 6 wontons for just $2 with the purchase of any premium or signature box. Available in-store or at oodlenoodle.ca for takeout only. Don't have a delicious debate, so I'm going to put somebody on the spot today.
I'll do it.
All right, Liam's volunteering. Go ahead.
Well, that's not fun.
If the Oilers are put into a situation where they can, and I'm doing this from Oilers Nation Everyday Conversation, where they can acquire a legit top 6 forward, probably a first line forward, to be honest, would you trade Ike Howard in that deal?
What's the context of this conversation?
So Tyler said on the show today, it's actually kind of weird how it went this way, was like, we did our predictions for 2026, and one of his was that the Oilers would acquire an $8 million plus player, and he said Forsberg from Nashville. And for whatever reason, I don't even think you brought up his name on the show.
No, I just said I'd give up a really good prospect to get him.
Yeah, and people were like, I would never give up Ike Howard for Forsberg. And then that sparked a hot debate. And the chat, we did a vote, ended up being like 64% of them would do it and the rest wouldn't do it.
So 64% would trade Ike Howard for...
It was Forsberg in this scenario,
Yeah.
but in general, like a player like him.
So Filip Forsberg specifically, since you brought him up, 31 years old, 40 games played in Nashville this year, 16 goals, 15 assists, 31 points. Would I trade Ike Howard? It's almost kind of like, do you take the mystery box or what's behind the door? Or do you take the boat or the mystery box, which could be a boat?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I don't know what I would do. I like Ike Howard. I would be sad to trade him this early, I think.
I would trade him in a heartbeat for Forsberg.
Oh, for Filip Forsberg, yeah.
So Forsberg, $8.5 million until 2030.
Now, if I was peeling back the layers and they got to like Alex Tuck, Jared McCann, I would say no. I would not trade Ike Howard for either of those guys. I guess my question was like a legit top 6 player, and both those
Not
guys
necessarily Filip Forsberg.
but I would do it for Forsberg.
Ike Howard 1-for-1 Jared McCann every day of the week.
Interesting.
I just don't like...
I would have to think about that a lot more than I would think about Forsberg, I guess is my point.
I just think if the Oilers doing everything they've done, Jarry trade, all of that, you are so all in. You have 2 years left of Connor.
That's true.
I want Mr. right now.
What's the term left on Forsberg's contract?
Like 4 years.
8.5 until 2030.
Right. Well, yeah.
You get the guy for a while.
Yeah. When I look at Nashville, I just don't think Forsberg would come available. The player out of Nashville that is sort of my man crush is O'Reilly, because I think he provides some of those intangible things that the Oilers, that any team that's trying to win the Stanley Cup, it always helps to have, which is a guy with a ring and a guy who's been there, done that, and not just a passenger when he won. I mean, won the Conn Smythe. So O'Reilly, and I think the acquisition cost would be a little less for O'Reilly than say Forsberg. You're talking about, is Forsberg the greatest Nashville Predator of all time?
Shea Weber.
Yossi. But he's up there. He's a Mount Rushmore.
Fisher.
Yeah,
Best forward.
Mike Fisher.
Yeah, he
Carter Hutton.
beats Legwan in the greatest forward chat, unless you're counting Forsberg or Korea.
Martin Erat.
You know what I mean? But I only say that in terms of sometimes I think when we play armchair general manager, we don't really think of all the other things that a big player like, let's say, a Filip Forsberg means to the franchise.
Yeah.
Whether they come available for the Oilers' sake. Yeah. I mean, you would have to do that.
It's kind of intriguing. It's hilarious to me that Oiler fans are like so enamored with this Ike Howard guy who we didn't develop. We didn't draft. He just kind of fell into our lap this offseason. And so, yes, admittedly, we've gotten excited about the shiny new toy that we have. But I think that you're losing the plot if you're saying that you wouldn't give up that for the opportunity to have elite level winger scoring on this team right now. So yeah, I think that like the Filip Forsberg question is an easy one. And then as you work your way down the lineup, when you're talking about the talent being lesser, like I still think that this organization has to be looking at every option that it has available to it for the future. You figure out tomorrow, like this is a Stanley Cup window, and the Oilers have been there twice now, and they're having to get back again. And we've seen that the rest of the division, the rest of the conference has gotten better. That entire other division is better than us right now. So yeah, I think that this organization has to just kind of throw out the promise for tomorrow for any one individual player in the prospect of getting an elite winger.
Can I just bring up a really funny, I want to bring up a trivia question during the delicious debate.
Is it the Coke one?
No, it's not Tuesday, but I looked up out of curiosity, what are the forwards, like where Forsberg lands on Nashville's all-time points list? He's 2. Okay. In the top 10 of the Nashville Predators,
This will be depressing.
how many of those players are defensemen in points scored by defensemen? In Nashville's top 10 scorers of all time, how many of them are defensemen?
They produce defensemen like crazy.
At minimum 4.
I'm gonna say you're being a rascal, and it's something like 7.
Well, it's like Subban, Weber, Suter, Ellis, Yossi. So I'll say I'm probably missing one, so I'll even go 6.
Okay, 6. And you said 4.
I'm going 7. I'm
I just
saying you're
don't know
being
if
a rascal.
Subban's got the years.
6 sounds right.
He might not need the years.
The correct answer
It's gonna be
is
1.
5.
My bad.
Split the
Roman
difference.
Yossi is the all-time points leader. It's 742. Shea Weber is 5th, 443 points. Timonen. He is 8th.
The glass king.
Ryan Ellis is 9th. And Matthias Ekholm is 10th.
Whoa.
The forwards, Forsberg, Legwand, Martin Erat, Ryan Johansson, and Craig Smith.
And that list right there tells you exactly what the thing is. It's longevity, not talent.
Well, and looping this back, there's no way Howard for Forsberg is the trade. Howard is inclusive, but just so that we're clear.
Howard is one piece that has to go back the other way.
Absolutely. There's not just wish casting.
Howard is the biggest piece that would leave Edmonton.
Other than
First rounder.
Yeah.
No, I would say he is the centerpiece of the trade. Because the play is always
What
the
a
centerpiece.
slam dunk win this trade is going to be.
I was going to say.
No, well, so you look at our equivalent to it was Rantanen to Carolina. From Carolina to Dallas. Stankoven, 2 first-round picks, one of them conditional, 2 third-round picks.
The conditions are, I looked, by the way, that they're just top 10 protected. So they get them no matter what.
Okay, so there you go.
So if it takes
Ike Howard, or actually I said it would probably have to be Savoy, but minus the point, just whatever it is. You know what I mean?
So yeah, Brandon's younger, better, and then got the 8-year deal versus Forsberg, a little bit older, not quite as elite by himself, all that. So yeah, like to try Howard a first and a third.
I don't think I'd want to give up Savoy for him though.
And Darnell Nurse. How else are you going to make the money work?
I don't know. Not my
You know what I
problem.
mean? Like, if you looked at the cap situation, like if we're talking about trades that can be made in season, I'm not sure how much trading, Bowman can do.
This is a July thing for sure.
Well, okay. Yeah.
As you guys are talking, all I can think about is, and it was annoying me, is we're talking about like, would you trade Ike Howard as a piece for a more established player? How about we don't do that, and instead we figure out what's going on with the pro scouting and signing UFAs that do absolutely nothing when they're here.
Now that's an interesting idea.
3-6 for Mangiapane. We're going to talk about him in a second, I imagine. 3-8 for Frederick. Now Frederick's here forever. Of course he is. But
long live, get you jerseys.
You might as well. Had they not signed those two players, you could have gone out and got Brock Besser.
Mm-hmm. That's why one of my predictions is like, they're going to go get an $8+ million guy. Cause it's been my take for a while. Like, quit screwing around in the mushy middle, right? Like crossing your fingers and going like, I hope this $3 million free agent pans out for us again would be such a massive mistake when guys like Max Jones and Curtis Lazar come up and eat those guys lunch.
Cause now we're talking about like, would you trade an Ike Howard, or like Dan said no to Matt Savoy? Like, how about we just don't go sign those players, and then you just sign a better one and you don't lose assets to go get a guy who, Filip Forsberg in your example is a great player, great mustache.
Yeah, that would be
after losing
Stu.
After losing Stu, we do need to take care of the mustache game.
Although Ike Howard's back up with a hell of a muzzy too.
Also a fair
He's got a nice muzzy, but you're trading him in this case.
Muzzy.
So that's a muzzy for muzzy.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen Jarry grow a mustache.
We haven't seen Jarry at all.
Because he's hurt.
Yeah.
But no, he hasn't played at all.
Let's talk about, do you have something else to say on the Delicious Debate?
No, I just think your point's really well taken. That, like, again, quit screwing around with these mid-tier blah, blah, blahs that you hope and pray end up working out. Like, go get sure things, and then your bottom six, roll the dice. Liam always uses the Florida example. Was their fourth line a bunch of big names, blah, blah, blah. No. A bunch of dudes made like league minimum, and they just play hard. Your fourth line could be Quinn Hutson, Curtis Lazar, and Max Jones, or Connor Kleinberg maybe instead of Hudson. And like, you know what they're going to do? Work their dicks off.
Mm-hmm. I think that we've harped on it enough, and it is what it is. But I think that you look at all those players, Jeff Skinner, Victor Arvidsson's a bit of an outlier in it, but Mangiapane, all these guys that were established, we brought them in and we thought they're going to do well at lesser minutes than what they've been before, but we expect them to maintain that efficacy. And you hear it from a guy like David Tomasek whining about it in the media a little bit. I shouldn't say whining, because that wasn't the tone that he wanted to take about it. He's just giving a little bit of a reflection on the fact that there's a lot of guys that come in and are effective with a certain amount of workload, and then they don't get that workload in Edmonton, and they just are expected to deal with that. And it's just not comfortable and confident for these guys to be able to excel with that. So yeah, I don't know. It's got to be over. We have to be done with the experiment of.
Well, to your point, I guess I was watching over the break. I was watching one of the off-season episodes of, what is it called? It's not Oil Change.
The Drop.
The Drop. And they were talking about the Mangiapane thing, and part of the conversation was like, oh, he gets to play with Connor, he gets to play with Leon. Well, he doesn't play with either of them.
No.
But he did.
I know.
He did for 20.
Yeah.
He did.
I would like to propose the point of this.
Please.
Most of those guys were ass, and they didn't play with much effort at all. And now we have to sit here and be like, well, why don't they play more? Because what did they do when they played?
Agreed.
Nothing. But
it's a chicken and egg thing, right?
No, it's not. It's you're bad, yes. You're good. Jack Roslovic is playing in the top six because he's good. Zach Hyman is playing in the top six because he's good. They have banked on 2 long-term deals in free agency in Hyman and Frederick. One of them is panning out because he busts his ass every single night. The other guy is sitting on his ass most nights on the bench because he doesn't play well enough. I just, thank you. Put that one.
Yep. I'm going to put that out. But if somebody could put music under that, we're really in business.
I think the only one that's been screwed in this whole process of like the Knobloch time is Skinner. Jeff, that is. Because I do think he played relatively hard, and I think he was nitpicked too much by the coaching staff.
Well,
a lot of the other ones like Arvidsson, like, okay, what did he really do?
He drove to the net more in the game the other day for Boston than I saw all season last year.
Exactly. And like the Connor Brown thing, I think is just a good example of like, this guy is not scoring goals, but every single night he is showing up. So honestly, like, we can blame the pro scouting, and he definitely deserves to be criticized, but it comes down to those players playing well, and guys like Tomasek, and I know he didn't, like you said, like whine about it, but it's like, we're not playing enough. So, okay, well, Andrew Mangiapane's played the most with Connor McDavid of any other linemate this year. It's like, so that's on him to be better, and he is just not good enough. And a lot of them are not.
Why is there a disconnect between the front office and the coaching staff about free agent signings and how they'll be deployed? Because there does seem to be, if you were looking at the pro scouting of, Bowman and the Oilers and looking at these types of players, it has to be baked into the cake that, look, there's a scenario where you were playing 11 or 12 minutes a night and that's it. And you might get your looks with the big horses, or you might not, right? Mm-hmm. And there is somewhat of a disconnect here because it shouldn't have worked that way necessarily with a Jeff Skinner. He was misslotted when he was signed, and you can't just sign top 6 players to play in your bottom 6 when you're used to having that. These middle 6 type of guys, you're operating at, 0 for 3 at the moment between Arvidsson, Mangiapane, and Frederick. Now, that's not the final case for them. There's time that they can play better, but why is this a big surprise seemingly about where they're being slotted? You know what I mean?
I think that's the side of it I would argue against the Oilers failing these players, like what you just said. And it's like, I'm like what BM said in the sense of like, there was the episode of The Drop and they're like, you're going to play with McDavid and Draisaitl, but then you're just not. So your expectations were that he did that, but then you immediately turned away from him being that player.
But you just said it though, his most common line mate's Connor McDavid, right? Like that's one where like I'll agree with you that like Mangiapane.
The first game of the season, he played on the third line away from both those guys.
Yeah, because like Freddie
so
up there
right away like that. But you're right. It's sorry what
like Mangiapane doesn't have much of an excuse. I do think maybe like, does a guy like Adam Henrique have a case of like, I'm used to playing not that he needs to play 18, 19 minutes a night in Edmonton, but it's like, I'm used to getting ozone starts and like Freddie, like I don't get ozone starts. Right? If there's a quality shift for the Oilers where like they have the other team gassed or it's a good ozone start, it goes to Connor or Leon, which like, it should, like that's what makes the Oilers unique, but maybe that speaks to like the disconnect of like how you build the team. Like you can't build guys who need a certain allotment of puck touches to feel like they're in the game.
Yeah, well, it's like they're trying to get as many universal pieces as they can, so they have the ultimate remote, so that as Knobloch is Lego building the
everyone's
roster
a center,
every night, smash it up. Okay, now I can build it this way because this piece could go with that piece, and that kind of seems to be the main way that the Oilers build out their forward lines.
Do me a favor, get your prediction sheet out, Tyler. I want to talk about Andrew Mangiapane, but first I want to tell you that we are only 3 weeks away from the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament at the beautiful Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. If you haven't got your team in yet, you are very, very short on time. This thing sells out every year. For a couple of days, we're going to be playing 4-on-4 out on Lake Mildred, surrounded by the Nation crew, live shows, all kinds of programming, and of course, beautiful Rocky Mountains. Go sign up a team. Again, it's 3 weeks away. You are going to run out of time. Now,
we did this Tuesday. Actually, what's your question? Because I'm fascinated to see if we're thinking the same.
Okay. So my question was going to be, how long is he still here for? And a prediction of where he goes. Is that what you guys did?
Ooh, we just did when does he get traded? So
okay, then can I put my name in there?
Yeah.
So
then I'll read you everyone else's after.
All right.
Be fun.
So we are January 2nd today, 2006, undefeated in 2026 as well. Mm-hmm. Did I say 2006?
You did.
Great year. Great year.
We weren't undefeated then.
No, we're going back. 2006 was a great year. No podcast back then. Wonderful. Quiet.
Tom Green show though.
Yeah, Tom Green show.
Tom Green
loved the Tom Green show. There was a moment in time when he was the biggest thing alive. Okay. You kids don't remember. Reese, you have no idea.
January 2006. How did the Oilers open up a season?
I'm going to guess horribly. Oh no, that was the year they went to the Cup Finals. So that was when they started going right before that. I think they had a pretty solid end to the year. If I remember correctly.
It was the win. It was the middle that really,
because they got into the second to last game is when they got into the playoffs. So they had a little run.
It was live or die February, March.
The Oilers' first game of January 2006.
Please.
They won 5-0 over the Chicago Blackhawks.
All right.
At Rexall Place, sorry.
Hell yeah.
5-0. Sean Horkoff opened up the scoring with his 10th of the season. Of
course he did.
Just 2 minutes, 7 seconds into the first assist. Henskin Smith, of course. The scoring continued in the third. Van Dupasani, a pair. Ryan Smith on the power play. 4-0 Edmonton going into the second intermission.
Oh, the third period. Get ready for
Third
the third period goal scorer.
Yanni Rita.
Wow.
Third goal of the season. Marty Reasoner with the assist. Came with 2 minutes and 1 second left. There was a fight in that game.
Who got it?
Dan, do you know?
Oh, I don't. Steve.
Come on, Dan.
McIntyre.
No, it was Matt Green and Todd Simpson.
McIntyre.
Todd Simpson.
Ty Conklin got a 2-minute delay of game penalty as well.
Rascals. Anyway, it is not 2006. That was a great game to be at if you were there.
Yeah.
That was the game where they started calling Yanni Rita the garbage man.
I imagine you all flooded out of Rexall Place and into Diesel Ultra Lounge for a cup of beer. Anyway,
Give us the day Andrew Mangiapane's going to be traded.
I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to go. So they got a doubleheader next week. I'm going to go the Friday, the 16th. That is after a home game against the Islanders.
Jan 16?
Jan 16. And I'm going to say he goes to Detroit. I don't know why. I'm just picking Detroit. Steve Eisman does weird shit sometimes.
That's where I was saying on Tuesday.
Dan says Detroit
I'm
too.
going to also say it.
Liam?
Do I get to pick the team I really want to pick, or do I have to pick a different team?
You can pick the team you really want to pick. I already wrote them down as my answer.
Vancouver.
Ooh, I did not write them down. I wrote down Columbus. Reese, where do you think he's going? Because you have your...
The Islanders.
The Islanders.
That was going to be mine, was the Islanders.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Menzies can pick for Rick, and I'll note it in here. Where do you think he's going?
I was gonna say Long Island.
Okay.
Doesn't he look like an Islander?
Hey,
Struggles to score.
Gabagool.
Italian.
Yeah, Italian, you know?
Yeah, there are a lot of Italians out on Long Island.
Yeah.
All right. So that's out of the way. You guys already did it. This morning, it was announced Isaac Howard, Quinn Hutson recalled, Maximum Jones reassigned back to Bakersfield. Thoughts?
He had a great outing for himself, got a goal.
Undeserved demotion. I think he was one of the better bottom six guys, but he hadn't hit like that 10 game threshold, so he didn't need waivers. So it just
Great Selly on the Hellebuck goal also.
Yeah.
I love the big smile staring in the direction of the camera.
But like you look at it, they had to send a body down. They presumably didn't want to waive Curtis Lazar. You didn't want to waive Janmark. So, and you need to keep 7 defensemen. So Stillman stays.
And you can't waive Trent Frederick.
And Freddie is a no move. And Mangiapane.
It's true.
Like, yeah.
There's really no other option.
Yeah. He was just, they were stuck a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be back up at some point, but
He deserves to be back up. I thought he played really well.
Both those players were ripping it up for Bakersfield.
Yeah, I think.
So I certainly feel much better with him as an option in the late winter, early spring. Of like, Jones.
Did we have
play a game or two here? I
Did
feel
we have
much better about him?
Ike Howard recall predictions anywhere? I feel like we did.
we had Jarry coming back.
Well,
Pickard's
Liam missed that one.
Now on that one.
Yeah.
How many
Liam
more
was out on
games
that
does
one.
Pickard play? We're out on that.
Tompkins. did not
By the
get
way,
called up.
your tweet about him turning into Dominic Hasek when his career's on the line was hilarious.
We didn't have a Howard one. But yeah, I mean, he really does. I think if they could just convince Calvin Pickard, like every time he takes an epi, like, whew, boy, Jarry might be back next game. And then you might just get Vezina level out of Pickard. You could run it the whole year and just be like, whew, if Jarry plays next game, I wonder what we're going to do. Just Knobloch saying it really loud, like knowing Calvin Pickard's maybe like around the corner.
Game 6 of the Stanley Cup
He
Finals.
just texts him. He goes, "Oh, that was for Stan." Yeah.
Tristan looks real loose here in the hallways. Real loose, Cal.
Might start him tonight.
Yeah.
So because we got some recalls, that means we also got some new line combos. Nuge McDavid Hyman. Mangiapane practicing with Draisaitl and Roslovic, though Bob Stauffer did note that Pods is sick. Then you got Howard, Savoy, Hutson as your third line. Thoughts?
I'm all
Kid
in.
line.
I will judge it when I see their time on ice against Philly.
Well, don't talk about that yet because we got an appropriate Ask the Idiots question for just that. And then your fourth line is Janmark, Henrik, Frederick. That is a very expensive fourth line, friends.
That is.
That looks like a fourth line, though.
No, just write him in as your third line.
Yeah, you just flip where they are. Yeah.
I think Tony did that. I think Tony flipped them. He put those guys at 3. So yeah, you can believe what you want to believe. Again, minutes, but I'll save it.
Echo and Bouchard, Nurse Regula, Statsny, Emberson. Any word in the last handful of days on where Jake Walman's at?
Chilling.
It's not immediate. I thought like still a week or two
I don't know on Walman. They did give an update the other day on Jarry that I thought was very, very Oilers-esque and funny when they were like, he will be back he'll be back around mid-January, but no earlier than mid-January. Yeah. And I was like, okay, you can just say he's out for another couple of weeks then.
January 19th, baby.
I think I'm in mid-January too. I think me and Dan are really close on the prediction on that one.
Yeah, probably. I was Jan 6, so that's not
Liam's
happening.
already out.
Liam said last game.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Well, and this coincides with what you're going to do with Mangiapane trading him out, because to activate Walman essentially means Mangiapane's going to get dealt.
Or still
because
does that work?
Jarry coming back in, unless he gets like retroactive LTIR, then I'd have to. I'm no cap expert, believe me, but you're going to need to active goalies, so you can't use the $1 million on Pickard or the 1.15 on Ingram to drop. So like they're out like $113,000 or something.
Yeah. So to get Walman back, you need 3.4. They currently have 320K. So you need 3.1. Stillman gets you, we'll call it 800 to even it up. So you need to free 2.3. Pickard puts you down. You need to free up 1.3 still. You could run 12 forwards.
Well, I'm presuming Kapanen's going to be back before Walman.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and he will be apparently. Knobloch says he's pretty close. So yeah, you're right. Actually, there might be a bit of a time crunch here to like you need to trade Mangiapane or have someone else that's expensive go down.
A lot of
two
no
guys.
moves.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of no moves on the old roster.
Yikes.
Did they get free money for Tomaszek just leaving?
Yep.
Cool. Also worth noting, he has more goals than some of the people we're talking about right now. Yeah. Anyway,
he was a very interesting player.
There'll be a great summer article a few years from now.
Remember that guy?
What the guy that I thought could have been something, someone will write that article.
Putting you on the spot, Menzies. Who's your favorite that guy? Mine's Gaetan Haas.
I always thought Lander could have been
Me too, future captain.
Anton Lander. But he just couldn't score.
Or skate.
But he played well.
Was it?
I always liked Lander.
Was it? Which one was the gym teacher? Was it Joel Persson or Johan OV2?
Joachim Nygaard. Joel Persson was the gym teacher.
Joel Persson was the gym teacher. I think Johan OV2 was the guy.
He was the forward D-man flipper.
Yeah, and he was the guy who showed up and was like, yeah, I'd never watched an NHL game till 2 years ago. He thought like playing in the SHL was like the pinnacle, and someone was like, NHL? And he was like, no shit, they got a league over there? Whoa!
In the new world? Over there?
Mine was... no, he didn't come straight from Europe, but Filip Larson. He started that year as the Oilers quarterback on the power play. I'm like, damn, they got this guy for Horkoff. We are going places.
Dan, do you have to just wrap it up? Do you got a favorite that guy?
Like, I have a lot of prospects that just never ever, like as a guy that was a Brad Malone supporter from the start, like that's probably my ultimate.
He was never Brad Malone was 35
yes. the league. But I also feel like he's been 35
I thought
for
he had a shot. Yeah. Tony Rajala. I was convinced. I was sent a message on the Sportsnet forums by some guy that was like, watch this kid, he is going to go places. And so I was convinced.
Well, if you're talking about a prospect, it's easy for me. Marc-Antoine Pouliot. I was convinced.
And the greatest draft ever.
And if I can bring this whole show full circle now,
go ahead.
You trade Howard for Forsberg.
Damn it. Well, we don't know when Tristan Jarry will be back. Mid-December or mid-January, maybe.
Fucking mid-December next year. Who knows?
Mid-December next year. We did get to see his new mask though. Mm-hmm. Looks good. I like it.
Also, Johan OV2 on the French Olympic roster.
Is
no
he?
Shit, eh?
Yes.
Still kicking.
Checked it. Make sure.
That rocks.
He plays with the Black Wings Lings right now.
Is QA still available for
Cristobal
for net for France?
Their otherwise are
they're in tough.
Julian Junka, Antoine Keller, and Martin Neckar.
Household.
Under 21 team.
I know V2's got to be like 40 now.
Yeah.
Was Belmar
He is still on the team. Yep.
Yeah. Would be.
Do you want me to give you the entire French roster? Because I can.
I don't think we know any of them.
Stefan Da Costa.
I'll tell you one player who's not on the team. Tim Borzen. He was the. He was.
I believe it's pronounced Brossois cheese.
I believe that's a cheese.
He's the best player.
Alexander Tessier. He's for Montreal Canadian. You'll know that name. And that's it.
No, Tessier's not officially on the team because he is like suspended or something like that. So they have one spot that is just player to be named later, and it's just Tessier.
Got it.
There you go.
Sorry.
There's your look at the French Olympic team.
Yes.
I feel like my
V2 mentioned
will add 15 to 20 minutes to the show. And so I apologize.
You're good.
Anyway,
we're good.
As I was saying, Jarry's new mask. Wonderful. I like the little Oil Kings logo in the grill of the truck on the side.
That's where it was. I looked at that for so long trying to find it.
Yeah. Nice little touch there. Other thing I wanted to mention, Connor McDavid, what a month of December. He had 34 points. I don't know. Jack talked about this on the broadcast against Boston. And I wanted to ask you guys, do you remember a point where he was just playing more out of his mind than he did through December? Because like, even though he only got the 1 point against Boston, he probably looked like he could have had 4 or 5 in the first period.
Him and Leon had how many shots combined?
It was ridiculous.
Like
9
or something.
9 and 7 or something like that.
9 and 8.
Dangers.
Or 9 and 8. There you go.
I will say that the best I still think he ever looked was that Canadian division year. Like he was damn near 2 points per game for the whole season. Mm-hmm. So I'll default to that as being like, that might be the most dominant, just because that's such a long sample size. But in a short burst like this, I mean, this is right up there, because you're right. It's not just the games where he is producing. It's like every game you are getting 4 to 6 just grade A looks off his stick. It's awesome.
Well, being the one that predicted that entire season from Connor McDavid, I think this is probably more shocking. So it's been a pretty impressive month. And honestly, like, I think, we all look back to right before this explosion happened, and across the media landscape, the leadership of these guys was being questioned, and fairly or not, it was being questioned, and they put it on their back, and McDavid did the rest.
Well, yeah, like I think he told us, I'm going to shoot more. And then we're wondering, well, when
he rope-a-dopes us a little bit.
when you planning on doing that, Connor? And then he has, and I've long been a believer that Hyman, Nugent, and McDavid, that's the line. That's the line he wants to play. That's where you're going to get the best Connor McDavid. Yeah. And I think you made a good point, Tyler, a while back. It's like at times, and this runs through the Oilers lineup about the passitis that they have, and it typically starts. It goes around worse than this current flu, and when they put players up to try to get them going, creates the defer mode of, well, I'm trying to get him going, so I need to give him the puck, give him the chance. To answer, I think the 24 postseason for McDavid is probably
that was awesome.
Because the stakes were the stakes. That's what I would say.
Just a reminder, we did our original McDavid goals prediction, then we did our updated one where everyone could go back and change it. Dan is the only one who held true with his 62 goals, which he's on pace for 48, not quite 62. I went to 50. Liam went to 31, so he's 7 away from that.
If you stop shooting again and gets passitis all of a sudden.
BM was at 44, which is kind of close. Also, I know this is wildly off topic, but I forgot we did how many goals will Jack Roslovic score for the Oilers?
Ooh, what do we got?
Okay, so he's at 12 already.
Oh, yeah.
Dan and I predicted 13 for the year.
Wow. What did I guess?
He's going to stop after this.
We were all very low. Liam was 15.
That's pretty good.
Rick was 17 and BM was 25.
Oh.
So BM's probably...
Come on, buddy.
Well, his career high in goals is... Was it over 20?
I think he got 25 his first year in Columbus. He got 22. He's only scored 20 goals twice.
He's on pace.
He's only scored more than 12 goals.
Twice.
Twice.
Those years he scored 22 in both.
You know what? Sometimes you get bullish and you say 25. As you didn't look at his hockey DB before you.
But like, you're probably going to be the one who wins that question.
All right.
Because like he'll definitely score. I think you need like 9 goals the rest of the way to be right on that. He'll score 9 goals in the final 41 games of the year.
Listen, I don't win many of these, so I'll take it.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Good call, BM.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a cash out on the credit right there.
That's right.
Instead of the bet, I'm cashing out of the credit.
I want to bring this back to Tony Rajala quickly.
Of course, naturally.
Of course.
Firstly,
I had it on my list, actually.
he's only 34 and he's still playing. Elite Prospect has him down as a dangler and a speedster. But he was selected 101st in the 2009 NHL draft. 99th, the Oilers also had a pick. Kyle Begos. But the funny part about all of this...
I love Migos. All right,
was the 100th pick and the 102nd pick in that draft both played for the Edmonton Oilers. So the Oilers could have drafted both of these players. One of them, the 100th pick, Chris Weidman.
Wow. Was an Oiler.
Wow.
Played 6 games in Edmonton, I believe.
There you go.
102nd, just behind Tony Rajala, Matthias Ekholm.
Wow.
Gotta have him much earlier.
Whoa.
Wow.
That is some 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Wow. There's no way he was on their list. There's no fucking way.
This is no. They're like, we need one European, and we got Tony because he played in the CHL.
Amazing.
Let's talk a little betting, friends. Whatever your bet's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get on the game. Use the code NATION at Bet365. Must be 19 years old or older. In case you did not know, because I did not know until this morning, the Oilers play at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow.
I found that out today too.
I went to bed a little later than normal. So last night I looked at, I'm like, wait, they play at Friday at 1:30, but it just said tomorrow, but it was already Friday. Time, it's a tricky one sometimes. But anyway, they play the Flyers tomorrow. Looking at the early lines now, these are going to move between now at 2:30 p.m. on Friday and tomorrow. Oilers, big favorites on the money line, minus 185. Flyers are plus 155. Puck line, if you're feeling frisky, for the Oilers to win by 2 or more is plus 135. For the Flyers to cover that is minus 160. And your over-under is set at 6.5 tomorrow. How do we feel about 6.5, Tyler? The Oilers don't really play well against Philly, but that may just be my memory saying that, and it could be wrong, but I feel like they don't.
Yeah, they like. I mean, the last game they played this year, they only won because of that crazy ass Owen Tippett offside that called back the game winner.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
It was Roslovic in overtime, I think.
Yeah, played well in that game, but we're gonna lose. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the 6.5. I don't know how I feel about the puck line. The money line's not worth the juice either. This might be one of those. Watch the first period. If you feel like the Oilers are playing well and it's close, then you jump on the puck line at a better number. But I can't say I love any of those spots.
So we got Pickard, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not going to be Urson, because if it was Urson, then you would take the over, because he is struggling for Philly. So I presume we're getting Vladar. Mm-hmm. Are the Oilers winless in matinees this year?
Let me look.
I don't think they have I think they've gone back to not being very good in the afternoon.
So far this season, I don't think they've been particularly good. No.
While Liam's looking that up, I will continue on.
The last one was the Wild.
A check-in on the futures. If you're looking for a little value and you still believe in the Oilers, they are currently 6th in Stanley Cup odds at plus 1,000 behind Colorado, Tampa, Carolina, Vegas, and Florida. I don't get the Vegas one. I get the games at hand, I guess, but I don't get why they're 3 spots more favored than the Oilers.
Yeah, I don't get that one either.
I don't get it.
Because doesn't Vegas make the odds?
It is true. They do that. Connor McDavid currently minus 115 for the Art Ross. Hilarious if you had gotten this a couple of months ago, or probably even a month ago. Probably would have been juicy.
Oh yeah, at one point it was plus 240 not that long ago.
Looking at his Hart, Tyler, still plus 240. Nathan McKinnon, heavy favorite for the Hart right now.
I mean, he's having just a monster year. We were looking at some of the numbers today, like incredible stuff from McKinnon.
Kid can play.
Yeah, you got to think McKinnon, if the Avalanche have less than 10 regulation losses,
and he's
by season's end, that team's coming away with regular season awards.
So let's even say they split their next 2 games. That'd put them at 69 points in 41 games if they split them.
Nice.
That means they would be on pace for 138 points. Oh my God. That Bruins team a couple of years ago, that was obviously so good. They were 135 and it was like mind blowing.
So we're talking about an NHL record points season for a team. Yeah.
McKinnon might win MVP.
They're going to be awarded. Yeah.
I also think it's important to talk about our losses, gentlemen. So I will tell you my preseason bold prediction of the Matt Savoy Calder plus 30,000 today.
Not liking its chances.
I don't
Could
like
get
my
hot.
chances. He just needs a
This would be the time to buy.
good run to get hot. Yeah. If you're in at plus 30,000, get in now. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Who's
Anyway.
the favorite for the Calder right now?
Schaefer. And it's so now they also have
But like how?
minus 260 versus the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? That's what he is still. I never actually checked the odds, but I have placed a wager on Matthew
How long ago?
before the season started.
Nice.
So you would have gotten him really good because it was Demidov versus the field to start the season.
Yeah, it was. And I said the whole time, I was like, Davidoff will not win this award. I did say that. You were there. Currently, oh, bloody hell. Hold your horses.
All right. This is where we'll put in some hold music while Liam's technology loads.
A lot of plus 1,800.
Wow.
Wow, that's really good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I had a good cash out this morning, but it has gone down, which is kind of interesting. It was over $100 at one point. Now it's less than that.
Nice. I like it. Good for you.
Well, I'm a scout.
My futures, not so great. Last one, of course, was the Edmonton Elks Grey Cup. Shout out to Rick.
Do you want to hear my other futures?
Sure.
Just Sam Renzel to win the Calder. He was sent down, so that's not good. I placed a bet on
But you're a scout.
Edmonton. I did parlay Edmonton, Minnesota, Montreal to all make the playoffs. That one's looking good. Matt Coronado to get 30 plus goals. I don't think I'll hit that one. This one is an absolute lock. Salabrini to get 80 plus points.
Ooh, I had Bedard 80 plus. That's one of my futures. I got it plus 250. Beautiful.
Dylan Gunther to score 70 plus points. I think he's still on pace for that.
It's going to be around the number.
Did anybody else squad ride on that one pod when I said McDavid 50 goals?
I did.
Yep.
Plus 1,100.
I did. I
And
missed
I went
it.
heavy on that.
Yes.
Dylan.
I bet on it. Did not go ahead.
That's healthy.
That's a vacation.
That is no kidding.
Sorry, the final ones I had. Gunther to get 40 goals as well.
Mine's.
I like it.
He is on pace for both.
Whatever your bets, never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. Use code NATION at Bet365. Please be 19 years or older, and bet responsibly. Gentlemen, put your thinking caps on. It's time for Ask the Idiots. Got some questions that came in. Want to give a shout out to our friends at Swiss Donair. It's a new year. New year, new you, same wonderful Donair. Of course, they are home of the old school Donair with the options that you want some flair, open for 25 years and 7 days a week. Proud of the North Side, Swiss Donair is great for your events at home or the office. Check out their location at 8308 144th Ave Northwest or order online at swissdonair.com. The boys have not had any looks at these questions yet, so I'm going to get their first take on them. This goes to the Quinn Hutson, Isaac Howard question. I'll start with you, Tyler. This one comes in from Devin. He is setting the over-under at minutes played for each player. So you can give 2 yes or no's at 12 and a half minutes. Quinn Hutson, Isaac Howard, 12 and a half minutes.
Under next game. They'll both be at like 11 and a half.
Dan, what do you got? 12 and a half is your line.
Unders. Both. Sorry.
Take the over.
Bored.
Chris
Bored.
Knobloch's going to deploy them, right?
Yeah.
Chris Knobloch is still the head coach. Yes. All right.
I'm gonna, at least initially, I don't see them getting a lot of ice time. I hope they do, but
Liam, what do you got? 12 and a half.
I think that's too high for 2 guys that don't play on special teams. So I will say under, but I think they'll both play around 10 minutes at 5 and 5.
I will say, I'm going to say Isaac Howard goes over by like 15 seconds. Just to be different. What would be a more appropriate line than 12 and a half, do you think? 10 and a half? 9 and a half?
10 and a half would be a good line.
I think, 9.5 would have had me acting on Ike.
yeah, if you set it at double digits, you could probably have a good split. 1 and 1.
Reversing the order. Question number 2 comes in from Clay. Liam, what is your first impression of Connor Ingram after 4 starts with 2 wins?
Surprised would be my first impression.
Good or bad?
Good. I don't really the Boston game, kind of whatever, to be honest. I don't think the Oilers have played that well coming out of the break. Their offenses evaporated. Should I just say McDavid and Draisaitl have evaporated because no one else is playing good. So yeah, I'll say surprised. I think he stands pretty tall in his net typically. I know the Boston game again wasn't good, but I do like his approach. Final answer.
What do you got, Mike?
I love watching Ingram play goal. I love watching how quiet, unfrenetic, technical, try to read the play.
He's anti-Pickard.
Yeah, anticipate what's going on. Look, Ingram gave up some stinkers against the Bruins. There's no doubt. But I would rather him look like he looks in the net when the puck is being shot. And if he missed, he missed. And he'll hopefully be better afterward. But just the quiet, it's calming.
I was going to say,
as a fan in my basement watching the game versus, I could never mind what the players feel after some of the frenetic goaltending that they've gotten over the past couple of years, where it's far too active for my liking. I love how Ingram approaches playing goal, and he's already made me a fan. And I hope he, goes back to his form that we saw initially on his call up. I've enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
Needs to learn the trapezoids though.
He had a tough night.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, goalies can have bad games, and they cratered like a lot of his fancy numbers, but like, I'm coming out of this thumbs up for me. But
Yeah.
And what do you got?
I still think I feel like, and I felt like this with Jarry's first games too, it's just kind of like boring Stuart Skinner for me more than I'm not like blown away. And I guess I admittedly haven't been watching him maybe closely enough, after hearing Michael's assessment there. But I don't know. I'm not uninspired, certainly, by the goaltending, but I just think that the team playing in front of it, like, it just shows more and more the issues are, for me, the team that plays in front of these goalies. And like, I get it from a standpoint of, like you said, like you said, with the erraticness of the previous goaltending issues, maybe hurting the confidence of these guys, but the offense just taking a break against the Bruins is really frustrating to then be able to have to count on Ingram to not have a human night against a good Boston team. So yeah, I still think that this team needs to be better in front of whatever goalie is in the net.
They did the same to him against Calgary as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
And Winnipeg in Calvin Pickard. Like,
right.
The offense has been terrible.
If it wasn't for Pickard, that game against the Jets is an easy loss.
They're probably on a 3-game losing streak right now.
Yeah.
Easy.
And just a final note about Ingram. I really noticed it in the return game against Calgary. Point shots, because Ingram is not the tallest goaltender, how he was looking over defensemen and the screen and very just quietly moving to be square to the puck on something that was a total reaction scenario where that we haven't been accustomed to seeing that of an Oilers goaltender, how sound he can be. Whether that will stay and remain and he continues to play above 900, we'll see. But that's just what I noticed from technical standpoint.
if Calvin Pickard plays well against Philly tomorrow, I know the organization kind of wants Ingram to be the guy when Jarry comes back, but like, man, if Pickard puts together another good game against Philly, we're probably starting to have a bit of a conversation here, right?
That's why my answer is probably going to be the most boring of all. Is what's my first impression? It's been fine. Yeah. I agree with Menzies. He's super quiet in the net, square to the puck. I like that feeling of not seeing so much chaos in there, I guess, when I'm watching, but fine. Little short on the sample size, but that's what a first impression question is about. Fine, passable. If I was going to give a letter grade, B-. It's fair.
Oh, I'd have it higher, but
Would you? What would you give him?
B.
I think it's a B+.
Yeah, I'm B, somewhere in there.
Like it's in the thumbs up, 3 out of 4.
Definitely thumbs up.
What
were the goalie rankings on his for? What were the
Quality
the
start
emojis?
meter.
Yeah, the start meter.
Both Calgary games were a thumbs up. And did he play one before that too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
played four-
He's
four
played 4 now.
What was the first one?
Vegas.
Oh, 3
good.
thumbs up and one thumbs down.
75%.
There's the official. Hey, that's the official goalie meter. Was what we're taking.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes in from Shares. Just open up the table. Anyway, do New Year's resolutions of any kind?
I do.
Go ahead. What do you got?
I do ones that like, because they're supposed to be like goals, right? So I just do like small ones, like read more books and stuff like that. So I'm not really a big reader, but another one I have is try and read an article every day.
What kind of article?
Anything. I've been reading a lot of sports ones, obviously, but like just whatever's kind of like just trying to inform myself more. I guess.
National Enquirer.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Newsmax.
Yep.
Yeah. Save money. So
Only tablet.
Vintage Playboy collection. Articles
the good
inside.
stuff.
Yep.
We Book In's got lots of those. Tons of those.
Mike, Dan, Tyler, New Year's resolution?
2 puffs a day.
No more.
Is that more or less? I don't know.
At least 2 puffs a day.
That's what I saw on TikTok where I was like, New Year's resolution, I ain't drinking anymore. Not drinking any less. We're just going to keep it at the same number going forward.
I don't do New Year's resolutions
I'm not
really
big.
at all.
I think I am going to try and run every single day of 2020.
365 straight days?
Yeah. At least
constitutes a
20
run?
minutes. 20 minutes of running a day.
That's a
Try.
good one. I like that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to lose weight, but I certainly can't gain any more weight. You know,
Challenge accepted.
You're on a watch list. So you're putting yourself on a watch list.
Yeah,
Right?
this is getting a little out of hand.
I do think.
Like, hey, you work here now, the stairs.
Oh, exactly.
Stair Club
exactly. I was joking before we started recording that I was a little out of breath.
Yeah.
Now every day I know I can
Stair Club.
pound some stairs.
Stair Club will fix that.
I do think resolutions can be good. And people always say, well, you shouldn't wait. It doesn't have to be a New Year's. Like, well, it's just when everyone
It's a
does
nice
them.
little reset.
Yeah,
though,
exactly.
Isn't it?
So I do the reading. I like reading books is one I like to do every year. I don't read very often.
Do you
but
count? Do you have a book count? I know that's something I do keep.
I like
track of.
Goodreads. I use
yeah.
Goodreads.
But you don't have like, I want to read 10 books this year. Cause that's my annual number is 10.
My goal is 5. So right now I'm currently reading David Beckham's book, but it's funny because it's from like, I think it came up in like 2005 or something like that. It came out. So like half his career is gone, but in it, he just came to LA Galaxy.
Right.
So he doesn't say football in the book. It just says soccer the entire time. I was like, this is so annoying. I know you don't say that.
I guess now I'm thinking about it. Like if I had a New Year's resolution, probably to disconnect a little bit.
Yeah.
I think our job is very difficult with that because we're always dialed into phones or whatever. So like as an example, I've stopped wearing my Apple Watch
I don't want mine either.
I don't wear mine either.
because it just like, I don't know if you guys felt it, but like just the constant little zzz, zzz,
Yeah.
all fucking day. And a lot of the times they're not important at all. Or I know you can turn it off, but like the access is still there. So just quieting down.
That's something Amber and I started doing like earlier on in December is like, we were both sitting there, we're like, oh my God, we're just scrolling so much. And like, why? Like get up and do something. I found like if I sit there and I have 10 minutes where I'm like, oh, I just want to lay down, like have my phone or whatever. If I go like do a load of laundry, my brain is like, I know it's a very simple thing, but like less scrolling is something I've been working on for a while now.
Yeah. So I guess if I have one, that's it. Just disconnect a little bit more.
Yeah.
Be in the room with the 5 people with Reese just sitting in front of you.
Well, and that's why I think reading's a good one. Like I actually stopped putting pressure on myself for a book goal because I would never hit 50 like I wanted, because that'll preclude you from reading something longer.
Book a weekly. That's fine.
You know, being.
That's why. You know what I mean? But I was still in the 20s. But you would put pressure on yourself. And that's the biggest thing is you have to have, not to get super serious here, you have to give yourself some grace, some leash.
Yep.
You know, if you're too hard on yourself, then you'll never actually continue on toward the goal. It's not whether even you achieve the goal. It's about
process driven.
staying on the
making
road
it-
here.
yeah.
You know?
Interesting that you guys stopped wearing your Apple Watches too, because my family, we talked about this a lot over the Christmas break because everybody just kind of like, I don't want the extra just connection all the time.
Well, do you know the other side of it for the watches for me? And it's like, I need to hit 10,000 steps a day. And the only way I know it is if it's on my watch. It's like, well, actually no, because it's not necessarily about hitting that many. It's about like, what did you do in that 10,000? Like, yeah, I played soccer. It didn't count it. So now all of a sudden it's not registered that I hit 10,000. It's like, no, it's a mental
It gives you
game.
like a weird little pressure to do that. Oh, you got to fill your rings. You got to fill your rings. Like, no, I'm sitting here fucking watching. I don't know.
If you put anything on
Crocodile
a plateau, it'll be harder to achieve.
Yep.
You need to treat everything like you're going out to get the mail.
Look at us having a little serious conversation about connection. All right. Last question.
So, yeah.
You have something else to say?
I was going to say clearly that's what the question the person wanted.
Yeah. Got a good answer. Final question. Menzies, I'm going to start with you. Oh. This one comes in from our boy Doug. Fair or brutal that none of Bouchard, Hyman, Nuge made the Canadian Olympic team?
Ooh, good question. Doug Waite?
Yep. I assume so.
Bloody Doug. No, hey, you guys think I'm joking? Is a guy not
He's American.
Doug Waite?
I know you're down.
I think it's fair. I do think it's fair. I think it sucks for Oiler fans, but I don't see. They were going to take Cirelli. Cirelli is my sticking point. I wrote it about it in, the immediate reaction on Oilers Nation. I wasn't going to like that Cirelli was picked anyway, but I would have had players ahead of Hyman in those spots. I think you can make arguments, but I do think it's fair that they weren't on. If they had won a cup in the last 2 years, that changes the shine of things a little bit.
Like Sam Bennett.
But this is like to have a broader.
Damn it!
Sorry.
No. But this is their team is picked on some on resume and some on the right now, and trying to figure out where the line was for each was inconsistent. Because also the people picking haven't performed well in the last few years. Doug Armstrong. Has made some questionable decisions with the St. Louis Blues over the last several years. And John Cooper hasn't won a round in 3 years. Cooper's a great coach. Armstrong is a well-respected general manager. I get all of that. But it is interesting that the team they're picking, they're not in the same bucket as, are they having a great season thus far? Mm-hmm. Or what type of resume credentials? That was a long answer. I'll say it's fair.
Dan, what you got? Fair.
It's hard not to sound emotional after Michael gives a well thought out answer like that.
I will pull my emotions into my answers.
I think it was overthought and just like. I feel like somewhere along the way, Team Canada's hockey brass lost the plot on like what the Olympics are versus the Four Nations Cup and how that played into the decision making there. And like, I don't know. I feel like when we were talking about the Four Nations Cup roster announcements, we were talking about how that was going to be a team that was created for the now, whereas the Olympics is like, it has more meaning and it has like a wider kind of feel to it. And you go down the list and you can like Mark Stone, what the hell are you doing on the roster? Brandon Hagel, what the hell are you doing on the roster? Drew Doughty, like maybe 4 years ago you were good on that roster. I just like, there's question marks all the way through. And to the point of Mike's point there at the end, like I can't look at this roster and say the theme was this. They're going this way. I just feel like it's the Four Nations Cup, which is not a good way to make an Olympic roster for a tournament a year later. And like things have changed and you're going with the same roster. So I just felt like it was, Liam, you said it before the week before when we talked about the announcement where it's just like, you're going to be uninspired. And I think that's where I'm at with this roster. I'm just uninspired. There's no vision there.
Tyler, what do you got?
Yeah, it seems scatterbrained, some legacy picks, but then excluding guys. Like it was weird. Bouch, I don't agree with it, but I understand why they would do it. Sure. Nuge, I never really felt like was authentically in the conversation.
No, he even said it himself. It was like nice to be included.
Yeah. Hyman's the one where like, okay, they'll pick Taves to play with Makar because they're like chemistry. They're a good duo. But they won't do it for McDavid. And last year there was one of the biggest narratives in the whole tournament. It was like, oh my God, there's no one to play with Connor McDavid. No one's gelling with McDavid. Bring Hyman as your 14th forward. Maybe you don't need both Suzuki and Horvat. You can pick one of them or all three of Suzuki, Horvat, and Cirelli, right? Like bring one of those guys, keep Hyman there. And if through 2 games, you're like, shit, no one's clicking with McDavid, go put the workhorse winger who's going to go grind his ass off and who knows how to play with Connor McDavid. Like Hyman's the one I'm pissed about.
It was not a team tailored around their best player.
No.
Which is interesting with how Canada's built other teams in the past where you could pencil in, well, Chris Kunitz is in the conversation because
Chris Kunitz went.
Yeah, well, exactly. Because to play with Crosby and the
Replace
conversation until overtime of 2010 gold medal game was, man, we never really unlocked Sidney Crosby until, Crosby then.
I would say to that point, I feel like the brass built this team around McKinnon and Crosby as their talent, their superstars.
I think they just built a team. I just think that's what was their logic, was like guys who play roles, everyone slotted in, go.
Yeah.
But
To me, of those three, would I have loved Nuge to make it? Of course I would. President, CEO of the Nuge fan club since 2011. Of course, didn't expect it. Bouchard, I thought maybe, but I'm actually more annoyed that Hyman didn't make it in favor of a guy like Mark Stone. Mark Stone, once upon a time, hell of a two-way winger, could score all kinds of goals, but now the body just kind of gives out on him. And I would have rather used that spot, or Sorelli, for Hyman, knowing that he can play with Connor.
Stone is having a good year.
Yeah, I think Stone is being a little disrespected in regards to this. He is on point. He's on pace for like 120 points he played.
Yeah, he's on pace for like 100.
Until he gets hurt in February.
And that's the fair side.
He's missed 10 games already this year, or 15 games. Almost half the season. Holy shit.
My answer is that the Oilers have been incredibly disrespected across every Olympic team, basically.
Go ahead.
Like, Ekholm doesn't make Sweden. I get it. They have a lot of defensemen. But then you also have like the three players you list. It's like, this is also like, people seem to forget how good the Oilers are when you put them into basically any conversation. Mm-hmm. They're not just some team that scraped their way into a playoff run a couple of times. Like, no, they absolutely killed the Western Conference last season against this Vegas team that everyone views as a juggernaut every year, and Dallas in the same breath, and that they'll never be LA. But they always do. And the only team that ever stops them is Florida, and credit to him. But I just don't understand how, like Tyler said, I agree exactly with what he said, of like, McCaw and Taves is regarded as the best defensive pair in the league, and rightfully so, they're incredible. But Nuge, Hyman, and McDavid is also, they're inevitable.
One of the best lines in the NHL.
Like, it's not a coincidence that McDavid's season flipped when those two got back in his wings. And now we're just going to go out there and be like, what can we do next? Like, who could we put the McDavid with? And I do think the Oilers, Canada obviously have the caliber of player to play with McDavid. Like, maybe it's Celebrini, and maybe that'll be incredibly exciting to watch.
Could be fun.
But I just think, and I'm so tired of the idea of like, they need specialists. Like, they need guys who play on the penalty kills. Like, okay, then why? Like
Rob Zomner.
Like, Nick Suzuki's an incredible player. Crosby, if you ask him to go on there and do all this, it's just like, you don't need Hagel, you don't need Sorelli, you don't need all these guys.
What was the last Olympics that NHLers were at? Didn't Canada just beat the shit out of everyone?
2014.
Yeah. No one scored. Carey Price had like a 0.54 goals against average.
It was a dull and dominating.
I remember falling asleep during the gold medal game.
I did too. Because they just killed him.
5 in the morning too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very early.
I was drinking Budweisers at like 3:30 in the morning.
But there is this idea that it would break elite players' brains to penalty kill.
I don't get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it's like, what we have to ask these guys to block shots and kill penalties. Connor McDavid has been killing penalties all season.
And also, these guys probably all kill penalties most of their life anyway.
All of them probably do. And it's like, the blue line is what pissed me off the most, because it doesn't look good at all. Like, I understand the Four Nations thing. The Four Nations thing almost seems like it's just killed the whole like creativeness of like building an Olympic roster, because of like a short tournament where Thomas Harley got called up because no one else was available. Like, come on. Like, surely, and like, I get Josh Morrissey's a really good player, and I think he's one of the best. But then to not pick Bouchard because you had Morrissey is also a bad idea. Like, I think you should just go for like, these are our best players. And like, I think Sanheim deserves to be on this team, but like, Colton Parayko shouldn't even be barely looking at a World Championships team. Never mind an Olympic team. Like, I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of players who returned thanks to Jordan Binnington.
And ironically, Jordan Binnington also on this team.
Exactly. But
Doug Armstrong had the quote saying, look at his resume. He is the worst goalie in the league this season. What do you mean?
Well, he celebrated it with a long forearm in 4.5 minutes the same day. But I feel like a lot of players, particularly the D-corps, were all returned in part because they won in overtime, right? And if Matthew scores, then there's probably 5 changes. Yeah. 5 additional changes. You know what I mean? I don't think Drew Doughty's boots are good enough.
Nope.
You know, I check in with what Kings fans have to say because I find their losing very enjoyable. They are annoyed with Doughty, and that's in the regular season. So going back, I do think it's fair that you don't have certain players included because it's an Olympic team. It is a privilege to go at the end of the day. But you could certainly make a compelling case for both of Hyman and Bouchard.
For the record, I also don't think Nuge should be on this team. But again, it's ironic you talk about players who need to be special player, like have all these specialties. Well, Nuge does everything along with playing with the best player on your team. And you took Brendan Hagel.
Jack of all trades. All right, let's wrap up the podcast. Hot and cold performers. Got to tell you about the nation vacation to Las Vegas, March 24th to the 27th. We are going down to Vegas. We're going to have a viewing party for you. We're going to have the game day experience where you get your food and your drinks, part of your ticket. We're going to have a great time. We are staying out at Circa on Fremont. It is the greatest place to be. Nationgear.ca. Go book your spot, either a flight package if you want to join us on the plane, or if you got some points or something, there's also a non-flight package as well. As we do every week on Hot and Cold Performers, we start off with our veggies. So, Liam Harbin, you are up. Cold Performer of the Week.
Doug Armstrong, for everything we just spoke about. I think his just comments on like Binnington and stuff. I even think leaving off Sam Bennett is, and this, I guess the whole staff, is just an idiotic decision. And I want Canada to win, but also there's a part of you that wants to be proven right. So I would just say Doug Armstrong and Canada's staff, I think he made some poor decisions.
They are just fucking ass right now.
Yeah.
As soon as the puck drops, we're going to forget about all this shit and be like, God, they better win.
Yeah, everyone's going to grab the flag.
Not me. Who wins Great Britain play? Liam Kirk will guide
They're in
us.
there, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've got to be somewhere in there.
Mr. Menzies, Cold Performer of the Week.
In general, in life, or
Be anything you want.
anything? Oh, this is the Scott Van Pelt on Sports Center on New Year's Eve. It was in a tough spot. Reese, what I'm talking about. They were showing as the ball dropped, couples making out on the screen. And he's like, we got couple. This is good. We got love. And then they went to a homosexual couple that was making out, and his reaction that he was like, oh.
He didn't know how to handle it. It miscomputed him. It was the wildest thing.
Yeah, it was a tough spot to be in at a live broadcaster chair. I'm sure he'll wear it.
That was insane.
Clearly hasn't watched Heated Rivalry.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you got? Cold Performer of the Week.
Just my being sick during the holidays. It was a tough 3 days. And just, I think being sick during the holidays in general is one of the worst things.
Yeah.
Are you thrilled? I'm not.
Tyler, Cold Performer of the Week.
William Nylander was a scratch the other, like he was hurt for the Leafs game. So he was in the press box and he was just wearing a tank top. I don't know. There's no more rules anymore with
tank top.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There's no rules with NHL dress code, but we found the line.
It's homeless chic.
Yeah. That's where we draw the line, Nylander.
Well, he has been a merchant of shirtless post-game pressers, but it has jumped the shark. I need a little grapes being like, this is how you look walking in. Look at these good looking guys.
Nick Ritchie would never.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of funny. Our colleague Jay Rosehill, who does Leafs Morning Take, was talking about, it wasn't that specific one with Willie in the press box, but just in general, he goes, there's nothing more fucking embarrassing when you guys get blown out and then you have to get dressed looking like you're going to Milan. Anyway, Tyler, Cold Performer of the Week.
Nylander,
you just did Willie Nylander. My Cold Performer of the Week, and I actually might need your help on this. For Christmas, me missus got me MLB The Show. Great game. I cannot bat worth a shit. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
My guy sucks. My Road to the Show guy, terrible, awful. He strikes out en masse.
I have a way to make it more enjoyable. I'll tell you about it after.
Right. You can tell me about that after. But my Cold Performer is me. I'm being bad at video games.
Boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Early pitch. Slow the pitches down to like 2 miles an hour. Just an idea.
I'm feeding them. Let them feed it to me. I'm going to learn the hard way. All right. Positives now. Reversing the order. Tyler up. Hot form of the week.
Didn't talk about him today. I think he's been an excellent Oiler. Spencer Stastny might have been a find. He's a really damn good little defenseman. He flies around. He gets up in the rush. He seems to just kind of do everything really good without having any really visible flaws. So Spencer Stastny, I'm going back to the roots of this segment, giving it to an Oiler. He's my hot performer of the week.
Put some respect on my name.
Handsome fella too.
Good looking dude.
Dan, what you got?
I think I was probably like just too deep into the libations on New Year's Eve night, but I was laughing so hard when our former friend Louis DeBrusque was trying to cover his microphone during the hot mic incident at the end of the game there when Mark Kaslick was calling some player on the Oilers team a fucking ogre over and over again. But that hot mic situation at the end of the New Year's Eve game gets my hot performer of the week.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Because he was getting into it with Zadorov and wouldn't drop the gloves.
Well, and there was Ogre said.
Could have been talking about Shrek. It could have been a Shrek reference.
Just a couple of quarters in the swear jar either way.
Yeah, and I see Mark finally get involved.
Mike Menzies, hot form of the week.
He just couldn't raise his stick or his hands to protect himself. I had one, and then you guys touched on it Tuesday, but I will say it is fun in the featherweight division to see Ryan Nugent-Hopkins drop him and fight in a spirited way. Like these are not pillow matches. Like when he drops them, and it's good to see because those are always like. That's not the staged fight of years ago or anything like that. It's a genuine emotional response. The Oilers needed it at the time. They needed something. They weren't going. And, it's just another feather in the cap for Nugent-Hopkins. So that was good to see. Good to see for him. And some jam also from the Oilers at the end of the Boston game. It would have been nice if it came sooner, but a little jam.
Pour it on!
I'm jumping in next because I also had Nuge tuning up Neil Pionk as my hot performer of the week. It seems like every 3 years, something in his brain clicks, he sheds them, and then he beats the shit out of somebody. This is what happens. And it goes back to his first fight. Of course, this is from hockeyfights.com. Going back to his first fight against Dan Hamhuis.
I remember that.
All the way back in 2014. 3 years later, then he beat up Vinny Hinostroza. 3 years later, he beat up Sean Monahan, which is one of the great games at Rogers Place. That was, late January. And then, of course, everybody remembers the one from a couple years ago when he absolutely tuned up Justin Holl.
Yeah.
And then Neil Pionk, the latest victim, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He gets mad and he's got dad strength. I don't know why anybody wants to fight him because he will beat you up.
Yeah.
Cash money.
Fucking right.
Briefly, can I just say that in doing this will be a tease, but the next greatest Oiler of all time is Mike Comrie. And I forgot how often Comrie fought.
Yeah, you used to chuck him.
Yep. And there's if you want a good minute-long clip, Kovalchuk versus Comrie is
From
a
the brawl.
hilarious fight. And Comrie is down a couple of weight classes, but he holds his own.
Liam, you put me on the spot on Tuesday. That's a good callback on the Mike Comrie there. The one that did come to mind right after we parted ways was Marcus Foligno in recent years. Has just kind of just shown up as a captain.
Big boy though.
He is a bigger boy, I know.
Marcus or Nick?
Marcus. Yeah, Marcus is not a guy that I think of as a fighter, but a dude that will just handle his business when he needs to, kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Name that pops up all the time.
Liam Harbin, hot performer of the week.
Stranger Things is my hot performer of the week. Controversial ending for some, but if you're a fan of cinema, you would have loved it.
You like movies?
So I stayed up till 4 a.m. on New Year's Day to watch the finale of Stranger Things.
Goodness gracious.
And it was somewhat worth it.
I didn't see Mickey Mouse as the
Friday, baby.
evil.
Yeah, let's celebrate Friday. Woo!
What a hot performer. It was somewhat worth it. All right. We ran long.
Score predictions.
Score predictions.
Dennis.
Flyers tomorrow. Did anybody hit?
No.
Nobody hit for Boston? All right.
Marcus Foligno is not even close to the same.
That's fair.
players.
Not the right
He's huge,
category.
isn't he?
Yeah,
He had 10 fights in
that's fair.
2022.
Yeah, no, not the same guy.
Season.
Not the same guy. I was trying.
nice try.
I'm trying.
Score predictions tomorrow.
Oilers.
Matinee, Philly.
4-3 overtime win.
Dan, what you got?
Let's say 3-2 Oilers win.
I was going to say 3-2 Flyers.
Liam?
You can say that if you want. Is that
You
your
can say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, 3-2 Flyers.
Yeah, I think the offense will keep sucking, but I think they'll win 2-1.
Reese, what do you got? 4-1. I need to get back in the mix here, so I'm going to go 4-2 empty net.
Actually, can I change mine? 3-2 overtime Oilers.
If you win Menzies, we're going to have to ask you for a prediction for the rest of the season.
Dan Vladar, by the way, is 3-0 all time in Edmonton, 922 save percentage. So
Okay, 3-2
Big Save
Flyers.
Dave can go kick rocks.
That's not even him.
Dan Vladar?
yeah, Big save Dave is Dave Riddick.
Dave Riddick.
Yeah.
Well, Dan Vladar can kick rocks
Yeah,
too.
he can.
I just think the Flyers going to be more dialed in defensively because they got blown
you know what?
out in Calgary last.
Also, fuck Big Save Dave, wherever he's at.
Yeah.
Long Island.
Yep.
Him too.
I agree.
I just confuse all Calgary goaltenders as one homogenous blob. Anyway, there you go. There's your podcast. We'll be back on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.